Hello and welcome to Sports Talk. I'm Frank Noppenberger, your host, and with me are two outstanding student athletes from East Brunswick High School at the recently completed fall season. I'm sure you read about them in the paper. First, we have Joey Gudzak, who's an outstanding soccer player, probably be an all-state soccer player. And for the field hockey team, we got Rachel Huang, who will definitely be an outstanding all-stater in field hockey. Rachel's thinking of going to Penn, and Joey's going to tell us a little bit about that. Welcome, guys. We're going to start off with a simple question. Joe, you'll answer the first one. And why or how did you get involved in soccer? Now, the Gudzak family has been known to be football players prior to your brothers. But why and how did you get involved in soccer?
Well, up to about 6th grade, I played soccer and football. But I got to the point where I had to switch and only play one sport. So from there, I decided to play soccer, and I've been playing ever since.
Right, and no regrets about that?
No.
But you also played basketball, and you?
Yeah, until 9th grade I played soccer and basketball. I played fast break basketball with our travel team with Amir Bell, Gary Bell.
Right, you could have been what they'd be saying, Amir Bell who, if you were playing with them, Joe.
Yeah.
Now, Rachel, you know, field hockey, there's not all those youth leagues and those travel teams like there are in soccer or basketball. How did you get involved in field hockey, and why field hockey?
Well, I started out in a simple rec league, rec program with Coach T actually in 5th grade. My mom actually got the, I guess it was like a pamphlet in the mail, and she asked me if I wanted to try this sport, and I had no idea what field hockey was, but I said, all right, sure, I'll do it. And I went and I met Coach T for the first time, and originally I thought I was going to be a defender. I had this gigantic stick, maybe like, well, it was definitely taller than me, but and then from then on I started to really like pick up field hockey, and I really liked it. So then after 5th grade I continued on until freshman year.
Right, because you were one of the few ever to start for us as a fractional, both of you, one of the few ever. I've been here for a few years as athletic director. Very few freshmen have started all 4 years of it.
I haven't started all 4 years.
You didn't start your freshman year?
JV, I started. Freshman year I played on JV.
Oh, so I stand corrected. See that? Sometimes I'm even wrong, Joey. Rachel, we'll start with you. I've always asked this question because it's, you know, just interesting fact. Your number this year was?
12.
12, and what's the significance, or why 12?
Well, originally I had number 11 freshman year, and that was when the school year ended with 2011. So then the next year I picked 2012, thinking I'd go along with the end of the school year. But then I kind of stuck with it for recruiting purposes because I couldn't keep on changing my number.
Makes sense.
And then plus I don't know, I grew fond of 12, so I just stuck with it.
That was a good idea. I wish you would have gone through with it. That would have been a great
13,
trivia question.
14.
Joseph, your number is?
Number 6.
And the significance is?
There really isn't any significance. I've had that for all my life, so I just decided just to stay with it.
Oh, good, good. Going into this year, your both teams had, I'm sure, big goals, and well, your team were division champs, conference champs. You guys made it to the finals again. You know, you had a great field hockey season, and unfortunately, you didn't win any titles, but we were always in the middle. Tell us about the goals the team had for the season and how close, or did we accomplish them? We'll start with you, Rachel.
Well, we were always looking to get another GMC title, but halfway towards in the middle of the season, we sort of focused more on team chemistry, playing well, just playing a good game of hockey and using our skill. So when we got to the GMC finals, yes, it was a goal, and it was definitely a goal to win something like a state title or something like that. But we were really happy with the way we played, so I think we accomplished that goal in the sense that we all came together and we put our best foot forward. Isn't it amazing, the two most important games of the year for you, I guess you'd call it the GMC finals. It was kind of not a fluke goal, but it was like a rebound shot, rebound, boom, like that. Yeah. And that's how you lost. And then the other one was in overtime where the girl just from West Windsor just took the ball right down the field. And it was a terrible way to lose, but obviously you were in the game to the end for both. Now, Joey, you guys had you ran the Red Division.
You kind of took a break like the Yankees used to do, lost a couple. Then you got hot again for the GMC, did a great job in the GMC, and then, you know, ran into a hot team in the GMCs. Guys, happy with your season? You accomplished your goals?
Yeah. Our goal starting from this year was to have a better year than last year, because last year was one of the worst seasons we've had in the past 13 seasons, and we wanted to rebound off of that. And we knew coming into this year that we had a strong team because we had a lot of returning juniors and seniors. So our goals were set high, winning the GMCs and trying to go far in states. But yeah, reaching to the GMC final was definitely an awesome thing to do.
I'll ask you about this one. You can only win one. You can only win the GMC or a sectional. You can only win one. And I'm the man that can make it happen. So what do you want to win as a team player? The GMCs or the sectional, and why?
I would probably say the sectional title.
Because?
Well, I think we wanted to leave a lasting impression on, I guess, the rest of the program, because we haven't really gone far in states at all. And I don't think we've actually gotten a sectional title in a while, so it would have made a really big impact on the program, and maybe we could have gotten a lot more like people to come out and try field hockey after they see the success that we've had.
Joe?
I think that winning a GMC title is great, that you get to show your conference that you're the best in the conference, but winning a state title, sectional state title, is also great because you can show that you're one of the best in the state. So I think winning a state final is probably the way I would go.
It's funny, I ask a lot of coaches that, and some of them feel that winning the GMC, and obviously they haven't won many, and I don't mean our coaches, they feel that winning the GMC is like being the king of the block, or you know, in your home backyard you win everything. So it's funny, depending on the sport and the coach, if they want to win GMCs or the sectional. Okay, let's go to you individually now. You're both got a 3.7 or 3.8 GPA. Tell us about, you going to Penn. Okay, tell me how you balance the academics and the athletics. Your typical day.
It's definitely time management. I mean, well, I go to school, come home, or I'm supposed to be playing a sport, so during the seasons when I do, it's practice, and then you get home and you have to like get on your homework right away, and it doesn't really leave enough time for like other things, but if you get your homework done, it's easy.
You feel the pressure to get it done just like you feel as an athlete, and that's why you get it done, because you can't say, well, I got time. You don't have time. But any other activities you're involved in school? I know you do winter track and spring track. Anything else?
I also participate in 4-H. So.
Right, great organization.
Yeah, so I do clubs on the side for that.
Oh, good. How about you, Joey? How do you balance it? Because soccer takes a lot of time.
I would agree with Rachel about how you have to sacrifice some of your personal activities and you have to focus more on schoolwork. But my typical day, basically, I just go to soccer practice and then go home, do homework, and either on Wednesdays I have Italian Honor Society, or at least once a month we have a National Honor Society, so I'll be going to a meeting there and doing tutoring on the side.
And you're involved in all that?
Yeah.
And you do track also?
Yeah, track as well.
You both mentioned how you have to make somewhat sacrifices. Would you do anything differently? Do you feel that you missed out on anything by being so involved in sports? Let's go with you, Joe, first, Joe.
Not really, because sports is what I love to do, and I'm willing to sacrifice other things to play sports, so I don't think I would change anything.
Right. Rachel?
Well, if I missed anything, I don't know about it,
Good
so
for you.
no regrets there.
Okay, now, so your typical day, usually you get up, homework, blah, 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 blah. And the weekends, do you sleep in late or what?
Definitely
No.
sleeping in late.
Yeah.
No.
Your coaches have probably, you've been involved with them more than sometimes your parents seeing them all the time. So let's put a little levity into the situation. And I warned you about this. Give me let's start with a humorous story about one of your coaches. Come on, you got to have a Coach Todorov story.
I mean, I see Coach T all the time because she lives in
And when
East
did they
Brunswick.
start calling her Coach T?
I'm not sure. It kind of
'Cause
just like, I don't know,
evolved
maybe
out of
she
nowhere.
refers to herself as Coach T, so then we started calling her Coach T.
Okay. So give me a story about Coach T.
Well, I always see her around. I mean, when we don't have mandatory practice and we have captain's practice, I'm always stopping over at her house, like trying to get some balls or cones or pennies or something. And then, she'll tell me stories about her bunny rabbit and how she couldn't get an email out because he chewed through the wires or something. Or like she's picking weeds in the park and it's for her rabbit.
Yeah, well, she got quite a spread there. How about you, Joe? Because I know you and McKibben are close. And
Yeah, we're close. There haven't really been a lot of funny stories this year, but one of the things is before every practice he would tell us about how he would play in his fall league, his own personal soccer league, and he'd tell us stories about how he would score 5 goals against other players, and we'd always think that was funny.
But didn't you, at the senior banquets, don't you guys goof on them because don't you have a contest once in a while about kicking the ball? And you didn't do one this year?
No, not this year.
All right, but that used to be the thing. Okay, motivation. Obviously, you're both motivated. What motivates you more, the fear of failure or the joy of success? What motivates you more? Are you afraid of losing or that joy of winning? It's one of my favorite questions. It's in chapter 7 of my book. Who wants to take on that one first?
I'll take that one. I think I realized that after our game against Old Bridge that we lost, and going into the GMC tournament, that feeling of how we lost, how we were almost undefeated and we lost to Old Bridge, that wasn't a really threat to us, and how they celebrated like it was winning the GMC title for them. That really motivated us going into the GMC tournament and helped us win the GMC title.
So
the fear of losing.
Yeah,
is,
especially when you're the favorite, especially when you're as consistently good as us. How about you guys? Or you, I should say.
I'd probably say the joy of winning. I answered both last time, but I guess like it changed senior year when I realized that I'd like to enjoy my time on the field and just have a positive aspect on it instead of maybe like always playing in fear of if we're gonna lose. Just play my heart out, like, and then hopefully win the game.
Now you guys won it your sophomore year or sophomore year? Great. You came out real quick on them 2 quick goals and they never recovered. And you've won how many, Joe?
2 GMC championships and 1 sectional state championship.
Right. You both said something without even saying it. Target. Do you think there's a target on our back, being East Brunswick and being that good? Do you think, you said a team beat us and they celebrated like they won the championship? Do you think, Rachel, do you think teams get up for us more than we get up for them?
I think so, because we've always had like a history of success and we're definitely always strong, so they're probably always looking to beat us. And they have to take our game seriously when they play us.
Right. Joe?
I know in soccer we always have a good team and we're always top in the conference, so teams are always coming after us.
Right, but even last year you mentioned about how we had about a down year, but people still didn't want to play us because they still knew they'd have to play their best game to beat us. See, I think a team's got to play their best game to beat us in any sport. We're that good. Okay, let's go on to lessons from your coach. Coach taught you a lesson? Tell you what Coach Todorov taught me. Consistency and the love of field hockey. I've never seen anyone love a sport so much. When I started this job years ago, the field hockey program was almost non-existent. People were saying you got to drop it. You don't have any kids. We're not winning. We just about fielded a JV team. And we sat in a room together. We worked all these strategies out, and now she's got 3 programs. Okay, we could probably even someday get an 8th grade program. She's got a great feeder system. So she is East Brunswick field hockey. So that's the lesson I've learned from Coach T. What have you learned from her?
Well, she has this favorite saying, "Keep on keeping on," and she always says it. But I think it really means a lot because it just means keep on pushing forward. Just keep your head up and just play your best.
Yeah, she sometimes gets a little excited, and but she's so She's so into field hockey and just loves you guys so much. Joseph?
I think coach has taught us that the little things matter. For example, every single practice we would work on set pieces, throw-ins, corner kicks, instead of scrimmaging, because we knew that that could be the game changer in the game.
Right, especially when the soccer and field hockey, it's one goal is enormous. Okay, you know I'm big on multiple sports, and now a 12-year-old kid comes up to you right after this interview, and you'll be on ESPN and the whole bit. I'm going to ask you, well, give me some advice about sports. What advice would you give to a 12-year-old that's only 12 but thinking of maybe giving up a sport? What would you say? Rachel?
I'd say keep on playing the sport, because eventually maybe opportunities will rise that you didn't really see in the past. And I think it's great if you play, multiple sports when you're younger, because just, the skill of handling that much, and also just being able to be on like several different teams with different technical skills is something that you can't learn anywhere else.
Well, I always think, in soccer, the skills you learn in soccer, the running, the twisting, the turning, running backwards, forward, just complements any other sport. And field hockey's the same way. Now you got to run over and do it with a stick, So I always encourage, stay all the sports until you, like Joseph said, that's it, I'm going to concentrate on soccer. So what would you tell that 12-year-old that's thinking of just maybe specializing, Joe?
I would say do what you love to do. For example, I had to experience that my freshman year, choosing basketball or soccer, and I chose soccer because that's what I love to do, and I want to work hard in that and move forward with that. So
now you're going to be an all-state player of some level, maybe all levels. Tell the audience what you had to do to become an all-state player. Now I'll tell you, and I'm going to embarrass you, I remember being up the track and I'm running, and all of a sudden I see you come out of nowhere and you're under the bleachers. And I said, well, what's he doing under the bleachers? And I went back later and there was a pull-up bar under there. I think it's a homemade one. You're in there doing pull-ups. So I've never seen the dedication, from a soccer player as that for you. So tell the audience, tell us how you got to be a all-state.
My biggest thing is working hard and working as hard as you possibly can. I used to have this workout where it was really pointless in a way, because it didn't really help you at all. It would just torture you for 30 minutes, and that was one of my favorite workouts, because it wouldn't really help you physically, because it would just tear you apart, but it would help you mentally, and know that you'd have to work hard to get what you want.
Right, but your winters, what do you do all winter?
Go to the gym, running, waking up in the morning, 5 a.m., going on a run.
Indoor leagues?
Yeah, indoor soccer league. Basically everything that could help me improve as a soccer player.
How many days out of the year do you play or touch a soccer ball?
365.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why you're good. Rachel, Coach Tartaroff says she never says the best, one of the best that's ever played at East Brunswick, Player of the Year. You got an award from the conference. Weren't you Player of the Year for the conference, or don't you know that yet?
Offensive.
Oh, did you know that? Did I?
Oh, no, I already knew.
Okay,
they kept
good.
on saying it at the GMC finals game.
Okay, that's okay. So what kind of work ethic did you have to get to that? I mean, 365 days, or?
Yeah, it was basically 7 days a week. I'd be either running or, playing field hockey, and anything I could do to get in better shape or get better with my skills, I was on top of it.
So tell me about, now all of a sudden you become an outstanding player. Tell me about the recruitment, and tell the audience about Penn getting into the picture and what other schools were involved.
Well, actually, when they recruited me, it was actually last June. So I all of junior year, I didn't even realize that they were going to be in the picture. I was focusing on Rutgers and Lafayette, and it came down to Lafayette and Penn, but they recruited me fairly quickly. They were looking for a sixth position, and I guess there were several other girls they were looking at, but I guess they bumped me up on the list, and it was kind of like ironic, because I emailed them in April, like not knowing, just sending out an email, and then they replied to it in June when they saw me at a tournament, and so I guess it was kind of luck that they saw me play.
No, kind of luck, but if you weren't any good, they wouldn't be and you're a very good student. So, and coming from East Brunswick, it's got a great reputation. So, that's interesting. Joey, tell us about your recruiting, and no decision yet. I know Mama's in there, the Coast Guard Academy, maybe the Naval Academy.
Yeah, well, my thought about it was I want to play Division I soccer or play soccer in college, and also have a military lifestyle as well because of what I do now. So Coast Guard Academy, Merchant Marine Academy, and Monmouth, maybe ROTC are all options for me.
Right. Why military? What, you just like that discipline?
I love the lifestyle. So I've been doing it for the past 4 years, and I want to keep on doing it for most of my life. So.
Oh, good for you. The classroom. How do you get motivated in the classroom? I mean, Rachel, now be honest. The teacher says, Rachel, you got a solid B in this class. You got a solid B. But to get an A, you're going to have to study and get like a 98, 99. What are you going to do? You're going to cruise and take that B? Or
First, I'd cry. Just kidding.
Oh.
No, I'd probably focus a lot more on that subject.
Right.
I mean, probably it might take place of me staying after a little bit more with my teammates and practicing again and again because I know I have to focus on something else. But I guess it's eventually finding out how to balance it out so I'm able to succeed in that class and still stay after with my teammates.
But you're really motivated in the classroom too, right, to get that A? Joe?
I would try to get that A,
yeah.
Do whatever I could.
It's amazing that most of the kids just sit here to say the same thing, and I believe them. I mean, way back then, I don't know, I would say B, but things are different. In 10 years, what are you going to be doing, Joe? You're going to be like an admiral or something?
My goal is to be an engineer. I don't know what specific type of engineer, but my goal is to be an engineer.
You get one of the academies, that's a great way to go. Rachel, you're going to be a doctor.
No. Actually, it's kind of funny.
You want to be
because,
Coach T?
Maybe, with a bunny rabbit, maybe. It's funny because Joey mentioned ROTC, and I was actually looking at ROTC too. So it could be possible that maybe in 10 years we both might be officers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got
It's a
some ideas.
possibility.
And it's going to change so much over the next, few years. You never know what's going to happen. A couple other quick questions. Do you have a role model, and who is it and why? Start out with you, Joe.
Not many people know him, but my role model is, of course you.
Yeah, okay.
But Travis Pastrana, he's a motocross racer, but
Really?
yeah, it's random, but he's the hardest working person I've ever seen, and that's where I get my hard work attitude from. So,
Wow,
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great, out of nowhere. Rachel?
I don't have a specific person. I just admire anyone. I mean, like, they have a good habit of like working hard, or if they're nice or something, that's what I strive to be. So if I were to pick one person,
You don't have to, I don't want to pressure you.
all right, I'll say everyone.
All right, because tonight when I introduce you at Churchill, I'm going to tell them how you guys are kind of like my role model too. See, Derek Jeter says you should have a little something from everybody for a role model. Your motocross guy, he may not be 100% perfect, but his work ethic is what you take from him, and you may take something from someone else. Fondest memory of your athletic career? It could be individual or team, whatever you think.
I'll start with that.
Sure, Joe.
This past GMC conference game, I think I scored a goal, which was pretty cool.
Great goal.
Yeah.
One of the best I've seen. I was on the other side of the field. Yeah, it was one of those back kicks, and I mean, everyone, the whole place went, whoa.
Yeah. But then even after that, I didn't even know what happened. I got a cut on my head. I had to come out of the game, and then Haas said he saw it, looked at it, and it stopped bleeding. So I went back out, and I had to take off my jersey and put another one on. Then I went back in, and I got more blood on the jersey, so I had to go back out, and then I had to go back in to keep on playing, and then I got more blood on the jersey, so finally they wrapped my head,
Right.
and it looked like I had a diaper on my head. Which,
Yeah, I wasn't one of those guys laughing at you, Joe. But I'll remember that. That'll be one of my lasting memories for the next 50 years. Rachel?
I'd probably say it was, I think it was the semifinals playing against South Brunswick. We were really, well, before the game, we were getting really excited. We had these temporary tattoos that we were placing all over our necks and arms, and well, they were puppies and cats, and I think I had a frog on my arm. But we were really excited. We painted our faces, and it was an important game to us because the first time we won in overtime, and then the second time we tied them in overtime. So we really didn't know what was going to happen with this game, and we definitely wanted to get into the finals. So then we came out and we won, I think it was 3-0, and I think it was the best game that we played up until the GMC finals. But
it's funny how that your memory, it was just the semifinals, but good for you. We're winding down. Before I say thank you to you, anyone you'd like to thank publicly? This is your one chance to thank someone, an individual, anyone, anybody.
I'd like to thank my mom.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, all my soccer coaches, and most importantly my parents,
Right.
because they've been here the whole entire time.
And,
so
and your brothers.
Definitely.
And your brothers.
not really.
But look, I'll tell you, when I talk about you guys as being role models and deciding on talking to the coaches about who to bring in, you guys are a unanimous choice. You'll go down and as East Brunswick's one of the best ever. It's a pleasure watching you guys. I hope you have a great winter, spring season in track. I hope you achieve your goals, and I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and sharing some stories with us. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.